Hi everyone, Jo Herbert here for the Craftie Cafe design team. We'll be making a Mother's Day card since it's only just around the corner with Wplus9 products, and all products will be available on their store, and you'll be able to click on the links on my YouTube and blog as well. So I've made some cards already using the Sending Lots of Love. This is from the Valentine's Wishes stamp set from Wplus9, just as another option for you if you don't feel like or don't want to make a Mother's Day card. Now all the florals are from the Feathers and Florals stamp set. Now just going through the supplies list, this is the Wplus9 stamp set that it looks like with the coordinating dies. So that's Feathers and Florals. And then also from Wplus9, an MFT, we'll be using a edge die, and that's from the Stitch Basics. Mini Misty, of course, this has become my favourite, most used stamping tool. The inks we'll be using are Hero Art Soft Granite. Looks dark when you first stamp, but it does dry as a lighter colour. So the sentiments are strictly from the Strictly Sentiments. The Mother's Day sentiments are all from here. The Lots of Love is from the Valentine's Wishes, and a clear Wink of Stella marker as well. We're just going to be using white cardstock. We've got a top folding card base, a card base top, and some scrap card bases, scrap white cardstock to stamp the images. Now we're going to be starting with the top base, working from the back layer to the top layer. So I'm just choosing the leaves from the set, which is going to be stamped majority of the bottom. I do kind of stamp almost halfway up the actual card base. Using the soft granite Hero Arts shadow ink, which is sometimes it can look splotchy when you first stamp, but it actually works out evenly and spreads out evenly on the cardstock and seeps in and looks fabulous by the time you're actually finished the card. So just let it do its thing and watch it work its magic, really. So I'm just randomly stamping all these leaves, just random throughout the card base, and then whatever I don't fill, I just use those fillers, which is like the stems of the leaves, just to add, fill in the white spaces of the card base, really. So just take my time doing this, and then I'm grabbing the small one first, and then just filling in wherever there I see white spaces. I've got the second large image of that, and just adding a couple of where I feel like it's just adding some extra detail. So I let that seep in and let it do its thing, and then I work on the florals. I've got my Mini Misty out because I'm going to be doing the rock and roll technique. I'll start with the big flower, and for the base of the big flower, the first ink, I'm going to be using the Memento Luxe Angel Pink. I ended up deciding I don't want this small floral image next to it. I just didn't want to get the Angel Pink ink, so I just ended up pulling it away because I just figured it was just too hard to try and work around. So I stamp it twice, first with the Angel ink, making sure I get a good crisp image. The pigment inks are just beautiful. It does take a minute to seep into the cardstock, but I like it because I've got a little bit of movement when I add the second layer, and some time, so then it all blends in well and dries as one layer. So I'm just adding the rock and roll around the edges of the rosebud ink, just adding that to the edge, and it just adds this dark soft tones to the outer edges of the floral image. So repeat this process twice is I use 2 large floral images and then 1 small in Rosebud. And then I just use the Rosebud again on the outer edge. I just love the actual little dark touches it adds. Such a soft and feminine stamp set this is. Then I just bring in my smaller floral image and I wipe away just using a baby wipe, and I just quickly clean off the large one and take it off my mini Misty. I realised that I didn't actually put it directly on the cardstock first, so you see me try to stamp it. I figured, nope, it's not going to even get on all of that cardstock, so I put it back, and then I actually move the cardstock over to the edge so I can actually stamp on the cardstock this time. Alright, so what I do is I actually just do it one more time just so it's that solid image, because it's such a solid image, and I just wanted to get it nice and dark. I wanted to contrast with the lighter pink and also coordinating now with the outer edges of that pink. So grabbing the coordinating dies of the Feathers and Florals, I just tape it over with some masking tape, and I just die cut them through with my Sizzix Big Shot machine. I focus now on the actual leaves using the Soft Granite Hero Art Shadow ink. I use 3 of the leaves images, and I mount it all on one block so I can repeat stamp it. Initially I did it 3 times, but you can see throughout when I'm stamping this it didn't stamp well on the 2nd time round, so I actually stamp it 4 times, and I only need really 3 of each. I try to allow myself, but then you'll notice later on as I'm assembling the card I don't use all the leaf images, but it's there available for me if I wanted to add some extra to when I make it all together. So I just stamp it one more time, so I do it 4 times, and I end up really needing like 2 or 3 of each. It is shadow ink, so it does its own thing, and it ends up spreading itself properly throughout the stamped image, and then I just die cut all 3 out using some washi tape to adhere it all down and run it through the Big Shot. So I've got all my pieces there to the left, and I've just pushed it over to the left while I die cut with the MFT Stitch Basic edge die. So this is just a separate front panel, single layer cardstock, and I take it about 3/4 up the page, up the cardstock panel, and then I die cut it through with my Sizzix Big Shot. I like the added stitch detail at the bottom of that, and you'll see it in the photo at the end, or at the beginning actually, where you notice the stitch more. It's just that little added detail that makes such nice elements to the card. So I've got the Mother's Day on Mother's Day sentiment stamped with the shadow ink again. And here I kind of just play around with assembling it, because I used last time the Sending Lots of Love. It fit perfectly on there and it didn't have the word on, so it kind of made me play around more with the assembly of the actual images on the top there. So I'm kind of just getting an idea, trying not to cover the sentiment, but also trying to get the arrangement of the leaves and the florals together nicely. So roughly I figure it out, and I do use my favorite adhesive the Mono Tombow. The reason why I use this is because it gives me some wiggle room time to assemble the actual images all together. And you'll see me, it does, like, I sometimes take it because my fingers have gotten tacky from touching the glue. It tacks to my fingers. However, you can see I have all this time to move around the images, and I make it wet enough so that it gives me time to assemble everything and take my time. I'm not in any rush whatsoever. Whereas if I just use my straight, any mono runner or any runners, tape runners, I don't tend to have that flexibility that I'm after. So I'm just being mindful of the sentiment, and I'm being mindful of the placement of the leaves. It's such a feminine floral array. So I'm pretty happy with how I've set it out. So now I'm just adding some extra pieces of extra adhesive so it all goes well together. And once I'm happy with that, I pretty much just bring the same with my Wink of Stella clear and brush over the leaves to add that little bit of shimmer over the grey leaves. Just that soft, extra glittery touch without being so much glitter. It's just beautiful. Nice shimmer on all of the leaves. And I also place them in the middle of the flowers on the grey as well. So I'm happy with how much shimmer is on there. I don't feel like I needed to go through, add any more, no extra layers. So I want to just adhere that top panel down, and on my previous one here I've used foam. On the other card I've stuck it directly down, and today I'm going to stick it directly down, but however you can see the floral images I've used foam mount tape behind it. So it's really up to you how thick you want to make the card, if you have to post it, but I just stuck this one straight down. I do like using Tombow again, especially on this panel, because if I didn't get it right on the panel straight away, I can fiddle around and get it correctly on there. So just making sure that's all adhered down and it's all finished. So it's a quite simple card, but it's quite a pretty floral card. I really enjoyed making this card and playing with this stamp set.